Earlier this week, when former President Jack Dio was hauled before the Special Organized Crime Unit SOCU for questioning in connection with the investigation by SOCU into alleged misappropriation of state lands at Prattville 2, Mr. Jack Dio had sheltered under the veil of presidential immunity to dodge questions by SOCU officials. Minister Harmon was asked to give his take on the whole question of immunity.
Even though there are immunities, there are certain exceptions because you cannot commit an egregious type of act, which is something that an international court or anybody can deem to be as such, and still believe that nothing will happen.
The minister said that the Constitution can be looked at in different ways. He says the view of the government is Article 182 of the Constitution makes provision for presidential immunity while the person is in office.
But the situation in Guyana has become so different that the anticipation, I believe, the expectation of the framers of our Constitution was that a president, once he leaves office, will basically have a more quiet, sedate life. But the situation again is totally different. You have people who had been in office as president and now in the National Assembly. So how could you now claim those immunities while you are actively engaged in day-to-day politics?
Mr. Harmon said there is no basis for a former president to claim immunity while he is still in the middle of the political ring.
It's the same problem we'll have with a former president who writes almost every week in the newspapers and says things that need to be dealt with. But usually a president is given certain levels of courtesies. But if, in fact, by their action after they leave office, they descend into the arena, then I would say that you will have to be dealt with by the persons in the arena.
It is hoped that when the Constitution reform process begins, presidential immunity will be one of the issues that will be looked at. Royden James, HGP Nightly News.